Want to learn more about Funko NFTs? Well, we have two pros here who are answering all the hard questions. Let's talk about it.
Welcome to the Gastlecast. We're glad you're there. You get the right time. We got an all-time high. Funko's hot toys and John's own mind. Stick around, like, comment, and be sure to subscribe because life's a little better when you answer Chris and Heather. Hey, life's a little better when you answer Chris and Heather. Hey, life's a little better when you answer Chris and Heather. And remember, at these hella walls, we are together. Yes.
All right, so we have two pros from Tokenhead here to talk to us today in a very special interview.
Very special. And believe it or not, they actually learned about us from our Angry About NFTs video. And I'm shocked that they even came back and even more than that, reached out to us to talk to us.
They love our videos, and that's pretty special. So let's see what they have to say. All right, so we have Patrick and Parker from Tokenwave here with us today. It's interesting because a lot of people cannot believe that somebody from Funko likes us, and now a couple of guys from Tokenwave likes us. That's crazy.
That is really crazy. We talk so much about NFTs,
yes.
And now we're sitting with two of the guys.
So what video got you guys into what we do? Was it us farting on camera? Was it us singing? Was it us throwing Funko Pops against the floor? Like, what really turns you on about the Gastlecast?
I would say the very first video that turned me on was after, shortly after the TMNT NFTs went out. I was searching YouTube, trying to find, pack openings, content, to see what, everybody was thinking. And, that's how I found your video. And, certainly I was taking notes on everything you were saying. But no, I found it very entertaining. It was making me laugh and thought, wow, I really like the show. So I continued watching, at that point.
Somebody watched us and liked us, Heather.
I can't believe it.
He wasn't one of those people leaving all that hate mail in our comment section.
He must not be a Carnage fan. That's cool.
That's what makes it you guys unique and just like average Joe out there. You know what I mean? It's just normal bluntness, what everyone wants to say, but some people don't want to say it. You know what I mean?
We want to have friends in high places, but sometimes we got to take it on them. It just happens like that every once in a while. So guys, go ahead. I didn't even give you the opportunity, but please introduce yourself.
So I am Patrick. I am one of the co-founders of Tokenwave. Tokenwave is the company behind Droppp and the Tokenhead mobile app. We've been at this now for a solid year on this project, and it's been a lot of fun. And it just keeps becoming more of just a really exciting project to be working on.
Patrick, I don't know if I even have an official title. I am a broom sweeper.
No, marketing ninja.
Yeah, marketing ninja. So anything that you see post on social media or Discord, any of the announcements that come out publicly, I'm usually taking care of that and making sure it's all buttoned up and out for the masses.
So a lot of people are new to this whole NFT thing, right? So Funko is what has brought in a lot of these Funko fans like myself. And at the beginning, it started out with a lot of frustration because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to use all these new things I've never used before. And now that I have understood it a little bit better, I don't fully understand, I absolutely love it. It's amazing.
It is.
I love it so much. I have so much fun. And Heather laughs at me all the time because I dog the out of it at the very beginning, if you guys had seen those videos. But now I love it. I'm in complete love. So here's our first question. Do you expect focus more on the Tokenhead app? Any planned improvements on the Tokenhead app, adding friends, making it more like a social media platform? Because that's something, there's no connectivity to my friends who also collect NFTs. And I'm wondering if in the future, are we going to have this sort of sharing and seeing what each other has in a very easy way?
That's a really good point too about, sort of the current lack of social tie-in or social mechanic to the app. And as, a lot of your users might have noticed, like the Tokenhead development / the features have slowed down ever since Droppp was launched. Droppp has certainly been getting the majority of the focus, but we definitely have, plans to make improvements to Tokenhead to, add enhancements for, sharing, obviously, or making it easier to sort of share your display. Certainly ideas for improving like the collection tracking / displaying of those collections. Again, it's the Tokenhead development isn't as rapid as we'd like it to be right now. We have a nice list of features that I think everyone will appreciate, seeing once they're ready.
The one thing I really want is the ability to share with my friends with more or less a nanny boo-boo. I completed my set and you didn't. So if we could get that, that'd be awesome.
Something like, some leaderboards or, some sort of ranking.
Right now, what I'm doing is I'm taking screenshots of my finished collections and I'm posting that on Instagram. I'm posting that in our Facebook group. If I had the ability to share my social account where people could see that without me sharing it with them. It's like, oh, hey, go to the Gastlecast Droppp account, Tokenhead account, and you can see everything that I have. If that ability was there, I think that would make it more social, more fun.
Would you say you find yourself sharing out of Tokenhead more right now, or Droppp, or sort of, equally both?
Equally both.
Yeah, like right now, there's no way to send someone a link right to your Droppp inventory and show that off. But yeah, that's a great suggestion. I think that would be, a really handy feature.
Is there a plan to simplify the process of purchasing NFTs? Because people, they're always complaining about the difficulty with all this stuff. They can't figure it out. I couldn't tell you how many times people have reached out to me, even after I posted a video, with questions on where did I mess up? How did I screw this up? And what do I do? Is there going to be a simpler way? And I'm talking about in the future, not even near future, but is that a plan to simplify this so even my grandmother, my elderly grandmother, could get on there and figure this out?
Something that we are definitely going to do, because Wax has sort of changed their process up a little bit in terms of what it was 6 months ago in terms of creating an account. Obviously, Droppp is extremely easy, but we need to create some very good step-by-step videos, something we talked about, I think, Patrick, like a month ago, to really truly help people. And now you're getting me in trouble here with my boss here. Thanks, Chris. You said that your grandmother can go in there and set up an account. I think, though, overall, just being in the NFT space, though, and I know this sounds a little odd, but it is what it is. Like, you're going to have to learn more, if that makes sense, to truly get that knowledge base down. But I also think that it's people like you and other, personalities, YouTubers, even ourselves out there, trying to create things, videos, even snippets of photos of how to get the process down pat to make it easier for them if they're new to this space or just not tech savvy. I mean, there's a lot of us out there.
In general, obviously, one of the biggest challenges for the NFT space as a whole is onboarding. There's so much room for improvement in the space. When we designed Droppp, the onboarding experience obviously is one of our high priorities. We designed it in a way that it has the power of blockchain behind it, but we want it to feel like it's not necessarily a blockchain experience, right? We want you to have the power to see the data that the hardcore users wants to see, but at the same time, not require that kind of expert knowledge just to navigate the site and to participate. So we certainly are trying to make it as user-friendly as possible, and always trying to improve the onboarding experience. Wax made a change where in order to get a Wax Cloud wallet, you had to send 5 Wax to activate it, basically. And that definitely presented some challenges, because as it stands, like right now, if you open packs on Droppp and then let's say you want to list them on the secondary market, you have to transfer those to another Wax address, which people typically are using the Wax Cloud wallet being the most common. That's a multi-step process, and whereas they could just quickly set up one for free before, now there's those additional steps. So that's certainly a hurdle that we want to improve. We know it can be definitely a grueling process for new users.
That's a good point that you bring up, because we have been getting so many questions about the Wax wallet and needing the 5 WaxP in order to set it up.
So what you just said is they don't need that if they set up the Wax wallet ahead of time. They only need that if they're setting it up after they purchase the NFTs. Is that what I
No.
heard?
So if you go on there right now and you try to create a Wax wallet, it'll ask you to pay the 5 WaxP. That is your biggest hurdle. Because I have several people coming to me prior to the drop saying, I cannot set up an account because I owe this 5 WaxP. And I haven't been able to really necessarily explain them or guide them on how to do so.
Yeah, that was a big change and it threw everyone off. And just be clear, to participate in a sale on Droppp, you don't need the Wax Cloud wallet to do that. You could buy packs on Droppp, you can open them and look at them on Droppp without having to do the Wax Cloud wallet part. That's, primarily for if you want to participate in the secondary market, you will need that, that other Wax address. As far as the 5 Wax fee, you can, I believe they still have it, where if you sign up using a Facebook account on the Wax Cloud wallet site, you could bypass the 5 Wax fee. Again, the reason they put that in place was to stop all the, botnet armies that were just creating, thousands and thousands of accounts a day to, try and gain various, airdrop systems out there. So, that's the main reason why they incorporated that. It wasn't just to slow everyone down. It was specifically to try and address the bots.
I actually like that. I didn't realize that had anything to do with it.
People can be frustrated over it and confused over it, but it's for good reason.
100% great reasons.
Yeah, that's cool.
Still a challenge though, because people that want to get into, let's say, the Funko NFT space, if you want to call it that, and really deal and buy on Droppp, and then want to sell or look up something else or so on and so forth. Like Patrick's saying, it's all for secondary markets. You can do everything and collect everything that you want from Funko on Droppp without having a Wax Cloud wallet. But then you get into actually having to learn a little bit more about crypto and how do I buy crypto and how do I transfer crypto and how, you know what I mean? And so, but I will say this, and to all the viewers out there that are newer to the space, it is a journey. It's a process, but it can become fun and you can really educate yourself. And once you do, I feel like it's an accomplishment because we all start from ground zero with NFTs. All of us. I mean, I was 2 years ago, that was me. What the heck's it? Non-fungible? Like, you know what I mean? So, and then here I am. I mean, I just, hundreds of thousands of dollars of my own money invested later into NFTs because it's everything's the future. It can definitely be a challenge, is I guess the main point I was getting at. So we definitely need to do a better job on our end of trying to help, especially the newer users, because like you said, Chris, you hated NFTs. What is this going on? But I think when people start to see the true value, and value is, it's perceived in many different ways, whether it's monetary value or personal value, or like you said, hey, I want to show off this to my friends. Ha ha, I got you. There's a lot of different uniqueness that has to do with collecting. And we all do that with anything that we collect. There is a lot to learn, and there's a lot more coming, and that I don't know, in the future, it's insane.
I think there's a learning curve here, especially, but once you get around that learning curve, the fun behind all of it is really amazing. I always hearken this back to original days of collecting Funko Pops and running around and hunting them. This is very similar to that, in my opinion. They're harder to get. You have to trade. You have to do all these different things in order to complete your sets. It makes it a lot more fun than standing in line at a Hot Topic for 5.5 hours on a Saturday morning. Also, the limited amount of Funko Pops that come with it and sodas, that's also a lot of fun because Funko kind of stepped back from limiting a lot of their stuff. Now, I'm gushing over it, but I just love what's going on because I've learned it. And I think that once people learn and understand this more, they're going to love it just like I do, because I'm an OG hater of NFTs.
You're doing something really bad for yourself right now. We're putting out this video to educate people.
Yes.
When if you want to collect these things, just leave them stumped.
Don't help anybody?
Because if we get like hundreds of thousands of people amped about NFTs, and you're going to have all this competition.
What do I look like, some sort of to you, Heather? Is that what you think?
Do you want the truth?
No, I don't think so. Your Droppp account. So you've discussed this before, that your Droppp account, you have to transfer, if you want to do the secondary market stuff, over to the Wax wallet. Are there any plans to do this within the Droppp account, Tokenhead, and all those sorts of things? Or are we going to keep it in the Wax wallet? You're going to have to transfer all of your stuff back and forth, and so on and so forth. Have there been any talks about possibly changing the way that this is all done?
We know that everybody would like to see that type of functionality, and we're certainly working on some really exciting things. I can't go into details on that, but what we're working on, I think everybody will certainly like and appreciate. And again, like we're always trying to make improvements and simplify everything as much as we can with the platform, but I can't go, into too many details.
Patrick, that is not a yes or no answer.
It's definitely not. One thing I was going to add to the, the points Parker was making a bit ago, about NFTs and yourself, and sort of your evolution of how you view them. My son, I've watched, him and his friends sort of talk about, collecting and, doing various forms of collecting in their life. And I noticed, for them, it's almost entirely in a digital sense. They've grown up, him and his friends have grown up in a all digital world, really. And their entire concept of collecting is almost entirely digital, whether it's collecting items in games or, other types of digital collecting. But based on that, NFTs seems almost like a natural evolution in a way.
What really drew me to all of this personally, I do like the digital aspect, and I do like having these digital collectibles and stuff. I do find that interesting. It'll be more interesting if we can do some sort of social media thing, as I mentioned before. But what I really like is that we're getting a physical product out of all this. The physical product is what makes it, for a Funko Pop collector, that's what makes it a lot of fun. And getting people out there to understand that, hey, this physical aspect of it is amazing, and that's the real big fun part for Funko collectors. I think a lot of people are going to get drawn into this whole thing.
I have to say, again, it's been really fun and entertaining to see the progression of, all the social media influencers, how they feel about them in the beginning, till now. There's been such a sentiment shift, it seems like to me, overall. Obviously, there's still people that, aren't into them, but in general, it seems to have changed quite a bit. Especially once the TMNT physicals ended up in people's hands, and everyone was sharing unboxing videos and pictures and whatnot, and that seemed to really, throw fuel on the fire for the sentiment shift.
And the $1,000 PPG of the Grails, you know what I mean?
Is there a plan for the future for the one-of-one redeemables, for the series coins, and the cards past redemption day in the future? Because right now they sort of just sit.
All I could say is the series coins, they're just collectibles. There's no plans to do anything with those right now. And as far as, the one-on-ones, what I can say is, being NFT people ourselves, we understand the importance of utility and, everyone's desire to have, various utility for their NFT collections in general. We pay close attention to the wish list channel, even though sometimes I think users might not think so, but we're always listening to feedback and suggestions. The requests aren't lost on us. And as a lot of your viewers probably already know, maybe if they're hanging on our Discord, we can't really, reveal what's coming and everything, but all I can say is we have exciting things that we're working on, and we know, I think we have a really good understanding of what people would like. And as we're working on the project, we're always taking that stuff into consideration. So just today regarding, having something tied to sets post redemption. Today was our first bonus digital pop drop, which will be a monthly thing, once a month. Again, we didn't share what the criteria was. There were 4 different bonus digital pops that were delivered today, and that was just a couple hours ago, actually. It was really exciting to see everybody try and figure out what the criteria was, and I think the community figured it out within like 30 minutes, so I was really impressed.
These so-called giveaways, could they involve physical pieces also?
They certainly could. Right now, obviously, that the bonus drop today, was not there was no physical component. I'm sure everybody would love it if they came with redeemables.
Get a free pop. I know. Yeah.
Be amazing.
I'll take it. In terms of the bonus drop, it's really important to note. So if you look on like secondary markets, right, and the beauty about NFTs, regardless of, and I'm sure you're going to bring it up, Chris, and potentially ask about it, maybe other blockchains or something to that effect, right? The beauty about NFTs is if you're an artist out there, right? I know we're talking about Funko and Droppp and our platform, but look at NFTs in general is you sell, you create a piece of art, you design something from scratch, it's yours, and it sells, and you make money selling that. And then if someone else sells it, well, you get a percentage of that sale as well, right? And that's the beauty about NFTs. If you're really truly making something, beautiful out there that people want to have, then you can in perpetuity make money. And I wanted just to point out with a bonus drop, it's unbelievable from, that there's a 0% collection fee on the aftermarkets for these bonus drops. So Funko is not taking a single penny from anyone selling it on the aftermarket. It's literally a bonus. And that's really, for me as a collector, and I look at like value and money and so on and so forth, and just in business in general, I think that's really, really a great thing that they did.
So basically what you're saying is we're selling digital art and there won't be as many starving artists. We're feeding the artists.
We're feeding the artists, baby. That's right.
Any plans of a web or phone app-based game using non-redeemables?
We'll certainly put it in our list of suggestions of what people might like to see.
Does Droppp have any plans of expanding their NFT market beyond Funko?
So when we designed Droppp, it was not designed to just be, a platform for Funko's digital pop. We designed it to be a turnkey solution for anyone really, looking to bring their IP, to the NFT space, one-stop shop solution. So yes, absolutely. It's not only for digital pops, it's to other collections or, opportunities.
What will happen with the extra inventory of redeemables? Because not all of them get redeemed. So a lot of people are curious, are they creating the amount that they set to create? Are they waiting to figure out how many people are redeeming them and then basing their numbers off of the amount that people have redeemed? What are they doing, and what is the plan moving forward with the ones that haven't been redeemed?
Any unredeemed physical pop will be destroyed. Absolutely will be destroyed and will not end up in circulation, as that is, a huge item for us. Being from the NFT space, we care, very much about, the authenticity and the integrity of the project. So that's critical for us. They're not going to be given away. We're not going to list them for sale later. They will absolutely be destroyed.
What we thought, we assumed, or I assumed, that they were only creating the amount that were redeemed, because it takes a long time for us as the people that were getting them in hand.
Okay,
I did okay, yeah. That. So it takes us months in order to get it in our hand, and I figured that's because it's being created, right? Because they only turned in, out of 1,000, there was only 990 or something, right? So I thought that's what they were doing, but you're saying they might be getting the full inventory and destroying the ones that were not redeemed.
I can't really confirm or deny the process and the order everything takes place in. I guess one of the reasons this comes up a lot is because everyone has noticed the sticker on the box for like TMNT, for example, reflects the total minted for, that given ID. Or so, for example, the TMNT Grails, the sticker says 999, as that was the max, minted in NFT form. That's what the sticker shows. So, but that's not how many were actually redeemed. And again, those unredeemed amounts will be destroyed, won't be sold or given away or end up in circulation. I'm sure a lot of your viewers are wondering, hey, when will the stickers represent the actual amounts? Or, can we do that? We understand everybody wants that. Again, it's not the way it is. And there's a lot of reasons why that I can't get into. I could simply say, we know how badly everyone would like the stickers to reflect the actual amount redeemed. But thankfully, at the very least, because it's blockchain, it's at least easy for anybody to, pull up that data to see how many actually were redeemed. You can see that looking in Tokenhead, for example, at the number of the redemption tokens burned, because they get the redemption tokens themselves get burned when you redeem them. Although it's not immediate, but not long after the redemption window closes, we actually burn those tokens. There's been a number of sites that have started displaying those totals.
I was trying to collect all of the epics for the Scooby-Doo set, and I noticed that one of the epics, 5 of one of, I think it might have been Daphne, but don't quote me on that, 5 were burned. So that means that's 5 less of the royalty Funko Pops. Is that correct?
Correct.
That's
yeah.
correct. Yeah.
If you burn 5 epics, that's 5 less royalties that could be completed.
Do you believe that's on purpose?
I'm sure in some cases, It could be somebody just wanting to, as the Joker says, watch the world burn. It could be accidental at times. I'm not really sure, but it wouldn't surprise me if somebody just burned some to burn some.
How do you burn them, and what is the purpose of doing that? Because so burning to me meant all the redeemables are redeemed, or once you're past that redemption date, then the rest get burned. So how can someone burn their own, and why?
So the beauty about like NFT space and collecting them, everything's transparent, right? There's only this many made, or so on and so forth, or there could be an unlimited number, just depending on what the project is. But the term of burning is destroying, deleting, getting rid of X, Y, and Z, right? And you can actually do that on the blockchain, and the blockchain can then tell the world, hey, I just checked Daphne, Chris, 11 Daphnes have been burned now.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the one that I saw then.
Yeah. And so it's gone up. And I would think, and again, I'm just speaking out loud in terms of like a personal thought I would think why people would want to burn them is to, like you said, lower that overall number to bring more value, because we all know in the collecting world, if something is more limited, that's the only thing that comes to my mind of why. But I think Patrick hit it best. There might be accidental burns.
As far as how you do it, one way is, on Atomic Hub, for those that are familiar with Atomic, they're on the drop-down menu. When you're looking at your asset, there you can choose to burn the asset. One thing too, it's important to point out, like when you're looking in Tokenhead, and if you happen to be looking at the packs and the detailed statistics on the packs, we refer to pack openings as burning them. So packs are NFTs, and when you open a pack, it destroys that pack NFT. For anyone looking at packs and Tokenhead, when they see it says burn there, in that respect, it's just referring to a pack opening.
How did you guys become the NFT brand that works with Funko? Were there a lot of other people vying for that role?
I can't speak for anybody else. As far as us, a couple of my partners and I have been in the blockchain space for a while, and we are heavily involved with the Wax ecosystem, the Wax blockchain itself. When NFT started sort of taking off, I guess, thinking about Funko's position in the collecting world, or like the toy collectible world, it just seemed like a good fit, and we thought we could bring a lot of value to them. So we reached out and started that relationship. So fast forward, and here we are.
You couldn't have gotten hooked up with anybody better, I think, than Funko, especially in this particular arena, because Funko fans are rabid fans, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, exactly. So you're a Funko fan also. You're actually a collector.
Oh, huge. 8 years, man.
It's cool that there's somebody who's a Funko collector that's, behind all of this, because you understand where we stand, right?
I come from that world. So, I look at, what do we look at when we see a grail? We see, it's it's a holographic Vader or Maul, right? That's $1,000 pop. That's a $4,000 pop, or whatever it may be. And that's valuable. And they're 480 pieces, and they're from 2013, Dallas Comic-Con or Paris. And you know what I mean? So we know all this stuff just off the top of our heads. And this space is, for a lot of Funko fans, is so new that we just like, mind blown of all the time of like, I don't get this. But I've been in the NFT space for about 2 years now, and I remember when this was announced, the TMNT, and I'm like, this is going to be huge, huge, huge. And I truly think that Funko started a trend. If you look at Hot Wheels, you look at some other companies that have started actually offering redeemables. That's like, yep, trendsetter Funko over here.
Are there any plans to change the pack quantities? Currently, it's 5 and 15. Are there any plans to possibly change that, to increase the number, to decrease the number?
So with quantities, do you mean the overall supply or the number of cards, per pack, or both?
Per pack.
No, there's no plans to change that. I mean, right now we're very happy with the 5, the standard being 5, 15 being premium. We think it's working well. I guess I'll use this opportunity too to speak on, the pack supply numbers overall, because that comes up a lot. I see concerns often brought up about, oh gosh, are they going to massively inflate the supply, or, what are they going to do? And all I could say is, just know that we spend a lot of time analyzing everything and trying to make sure the supply the overall, pack supply for a given collection matches the demand and the size of the, current collector base, because we care very much about that.
So right now there is a limit of $60 per purchase each time you go in, but you're able to re-enter the queue and purchase more. Is there any plans for the future in just allowing that $60 per account? Or are you going to continue to allow people to re-enter the queue?
We have done 30, like a $30 max purchase. TMNT was, I think, 300. We found that $60 seems to be a good balance, at least in our opinion, based on everything so far. So that's another thing, obviously, we're always crunching data on. As far as like re-entering the queue and limiting it to accounts, obviously, with the queue, people are concerned about bots, which, just let me say, they're trash. And that's something we are always working on fighting. I think sometimes the impression the users get is that, we're not doing anything about bots. We always are taking, all the approaches we can to deal with it. As far as like restricting one purchase per account, when you do that, you sort of incentivize multi-accounts then, and you move the goalposts. And that's really not something we want to do. We don't want to try and incentivize people to create, multiple accounts for a number of reasons. I won't get into all those details, but we have some new things that should be in place for the next drop that should greatly reduce, amount of botting / people using multiple devices to a great degree, to try and get in more positions in queue and then get more purchases, obviously. So we do want it to be as fair as possible for everyone. We will probably always allow you to get back in line, but we're always working on making it so it's a true, fair, you buy, you get back in line, and there's not, everybody gaming the system.
I didn't even really think too much about that going into this interview. But that was a great question, because a lot of people do complain about the fact of not being able to get in to purchase these things, right? So knowing that you guys are doing everything you can to make it fair, that puts a lot of confidence in what you're doing, your operation. Funko Shop used to be hit by bots all the time, and I know Funko has taken a lot of effort and time in order to making the Funko Shop, the functionality of it, for people to be able to get it and for it to not be sold out really fast. So yeah, that's awesome that you guys are working on that.
I actually wasn't able to purchase a single Scooby pack. I didn't get in, and I was able to buy them immediately on the secondary market at a decently rate. But that was the way I got all my Scooby stuff.
Let me know next time, because I know this guy named Patrick with Tokenwave, so maybe I can help you out.
I think Scooby 2 was the first drop we did after a lot of the physicals ended up in people's hands, and it seemed like a lot more people were interested in joining the Scooby sale. And I'm sure some of the physicals being out there, has something to do with that.
Oh, absolutely. I had the same thought. And not only that, but I feel like more information was out there too, so people weren't as clueless. And on top of that, the flippers saw money signs.
It changed the market. I knew it was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to point out too, because I've seen this a couple of times. And so anyone viewing this and all your fan base and viewers, I was in line, waiting whatever my initial number was, but I got down to a minute left, and then it showed less than a minute left, and I was ready to purchase and sold out.
That's the worst.
I mean, that's basically what happened to me, because I was waiting. It was only because our friends helped us.
And
that was and Heather.
And
yeah.
me.
And we were lucky enough to get all of the legendaries, and we were able to finish the set too for the Scooby-Doo set. And our friend actually called it. Remember, he said that after Transformers, he goes, the next one's going to be Scooby-Doo. Our friend Aaron. It was in our group chat, and I was, and then it was Scooby-Doo. I was like, dude, do you know something? I felt like, do you work for Droppp?
There's always a lot of confusion, it seems like, about how the queue system works, and so I just wanted to address that real quick. Yeah. So we usually open the queue 1 hour before the sale goes live, but one thing I don't think a lot of users understand is that when the sale actually goes live, everybody that was in the queue gets randomly shuffled. Their place in line gets randomly shuffled. So it doesn't technically matter if you join the queue, 2 minutes before the sale goes live, or you join an hour before, right when it opened. It does not matter. As long as you're in the queue before the sale actually goes live, your chances are going to be the same. It'll just be random. But obviously, once the sale goes live, if you were to then join the queue, you would be placed at the back of the line.
A lot of people are asking about that. How does all of that work? How does the queue system work? Because there have been times that I have joined the hour before or whatever, and I was first in line. There have been times also where I join at the very end of, when the queue is about to start the sale. I've joined then and been in front of the line. And a lot of my friends think I'm, using witchcraft or something, but it turns out that it's a randomized system, which is good to know. That's good to know for all the folks out there who every time so far they haven't been able to get what they wanted, or on the other end of the spectrum, they've been able to get everything that they wanted. But there's definitely a randomization going on here, and you guys are working really hard to deter bots and deter, so-called flippers, I guess.
Do you believe that there is such thing as flipping NFTs, or would you view them more as an investment?
So having been around the NFT space a while, and I'm sure it's probably similar to the physical collecting space, there's definitely people out there that are flipping quickly. They buy packs with the immediate goal of flipping them for X amount right away. There's also those out there that are purchasing NFTs as an investment. Similar to someone, having bought, baseball cards to hold for the long term. And then there's also those NFT buyers out there that like the art, want to support, the project, or, it's a combination of investment and, liking, a company or project or initiative behind those NFTs. So, it varies, but sure, there's definitely flippers in the space.
Tokenhead seems to be a great app to view and track your NFTs. What was your part in managing the app?
So my part with Tokenhead specifically was, sort of coming up with the features, how it would work, what would it look like, what do we want to see, what does the main NFT collector, want to see on their phone. The way Tokenhead was born is we wanted something for ourselves to be able to quickly track the valuations and of our NFTs on the Wax blockchain. So it really initially was going to be just, and it had a different name. It was something for ourselves, and then it expanded from there. And then but there was multiple people involved in the actual creation of it. But it started as a personal project for ourselves.
What was the original name, if you don't mind me asking, if you can say?
Previous version, or what Tokenhead was born from, is called Wax Tracker, which is still out there. But this is the Tokenhead is much more developed, like much more fully featured.
Would it be fun if he came out with this random name that was just like, just like it was called the honeypot?
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I was hoping it was something like Snatcher. What? What is it called?
Okay, they can't do that.
Why was the transition made from a Wax Cloud wallet foundation to the new Droppp app we're using today?
It was sort of always our intention to control the end-to-end experience. We felt like in order to deliver that smoother onboarding, just deliver a really polished user experience, we had to basically control that experience from end to end. That's why we developed our own platform that we could do the pack purchasing, the pack opening, the collecting, the views, everything. And that's why we made the switch. And there was also like certain pack mechanics that we couldn't do the way we wanted. So that obviously was part of it as well. So just it ultimately comes down to wanting to deliver the most polished experience we can to make it as most user friendly as possible. And to do that, we felt we needed our own platform.
When you open these packs, it's like completely randomized. Like what actually runs that whole thing? Some of these people are opening packs and they're getting like 2 or 3 legendaries at one time in a 5-card pack.
One, the packs don't actually contain anything. That's one thing I don't think the users realize. So, the packs are just an NFT object. And when you open a pack, that triggers an action that randomly draws the contents from what's called a pre-mint pool. A pre-mint pool just means we've minted the assets on the blockchain before, the collection goes live, versus them being like minted as you're opening. The reason we do that is we feel it's the most fair. Then it's not a race to open first. When you do mint on demand, the first person that were to open, a pack of those, in those whatever cards or contents they got, they would have mint numbers 1, assuming it was the first one to be minted. Wow. So then it ends up being a race and people get very upset. So, we do pre-minting. We pre-mint everything in the pre-mint pool. And then you open the pack and it randomly draws, from that pool. We like the possibility of someone being able to get, say, multiple legendaries in a pack, even though the odds are low. We didn't want to put a restriction in where if it randomly lands, onto, 2 legendaries, you could get those versus blocking it, obviously. We just think it adds, to the depth of it and the excitement and the surprise.
One of our friends, I think he got 2 Snow Ghosts in the same pack or something, I think is what he said.
Didn't we get 2 legendaries in one pack?
I don't
during
think so.
Scooby?
Maybe we did.
I feel like we did.
Yeah, maybe we did. I mean, it's exciting opening those packs.
Unless you don't get anything, then it sucks.
It's like searching for a chase at the store.
Yeah,
is what it's similar to,
like,
right?
Now you can't really find chases unless you wake up at the butt crack of dawn.
Yeah, I know, everything's changed.
So this is like super exciting because it's very, very randomized, where it's very rare, at least where we live, to walk into a Target midday and like find a chase sitting on a shelf or find that item you're looking for.
How much responsibility do you take on with each release in terms of the IT infrastructure, the distribution of packs, distribution of redemption coins, and the ultimate redemption process? This was yet another question from one of our viewers.
As an entity, we are heavily involved in a lot of everything you just mentioned. The pack mechanics, the numbers, platform, and the back end supporting Droppp. I mean, we engineered all of that. It's also a passion project for us. Like we love what we're doing with all of this. We're just diehards on the whole thing, and it's so much fun. And we love seeing everyone's reactions when they're opening things and using the platform online and just providing feedback, on our Discord, for example. But yes, we are super involved in pretty much every step of the process.
That's awesome that you guys are so involved in all of this. I keep thinking back to how you're talking about you're locking things down to keep the flippers out. I think that's going to speak to a lot of the Funko collectors out there, because I don't know if they really understand what's going on, the randomization of the queue system and stuff like that, and the steps that you're taking to make sure that us, the collectors, get the things that we want. I think that's really great. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys change in the future. What I really want to know is, in that armoire behind you, is that a Godzilla? What is that? Is that a plant?
The one thing is Ragnaros from World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one is from the Marine from Overwatch.
I was going to say, I've never seen a Civil War armoire with collectibles on it, and I think that's pretty awesome. Are there hiccups you've learned from in these few first releases?
There was people were having trouble opening packs, for example, right after purchase. Everybody was racing to open packs, and people would get errors because we had, the system was so busy that we had a rate limit, sort of how many could open packs at once. Yeah,
I actually was going to ask you about that before, because I remember that I ordered them while I was sitting at work, and I couldn't open them until I got home like 3 hours later.
We put a lot of effort and time into our back end and the architecture and scaling and everything. And if you noticed, I don't think anyone had any trouble opening packs immediately after Transformers or Scooby. So, the changes we implemented seem to work well. So we're really happy about that. And, some NFT projects you're not able to open right after you purchase. And we feel like that typically detracts from the experience. So, that was one of our goals, is we really wanted people to be able to open right away without a degraded experience. So, that's an example of a hiccup and that we seem to have overcome. Obviously, fighting bots is always a challenge. And, with something like that, you're on defense, and you're always constantly trying to adapt to what they're doing to stop it. And, that's just a challenge that will never stop. It's never going away.
I mark my words. I think that there's going to be a big change coming between now and next year. And it's already happening because there are people who are reaching out to me left and right saying, oh my God, the Scooby-Doo NFTs are coming up. I'm a huge Scooby-Doo fan. I need to figure out how I'm buying these, which is the reason why we made the tutorial. And I imagine that isn't going to be the last tutorial we ever make. I feel like we're going to have to continue updating it with information, with the information as it changes, right? I think this is going to be huge. I think that we're going to be complaining next year, not because that we did not get something from the NFT stuff. We're going to be complaining that there was virtually too many people.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I said earlier.
Yeah.
I said, stop telling people how to do this because now we got competition.
Exactly, right. We're creating our own competition, Heather.
If you were excited for Scooby-Doo, just wait for
Oh, come on! Oh my God. I never had a go up so fast and so down ever in my life. I mean, just go pew, pew, like that.
Are you okay?
I know I'm
Do you need a
okay.
doctor?
No, I might.
That
I
sounds
might. Yeah,
painful.
I might.
How have the number of users increased on the Droppp platform? Do you have any visibility into the growth in the number of transactions on Atomic Hub?
Absolutely. Since it's a blockchain, we certainly have, we could pull a lot of data. Obviously, too, on Droppp, we have a lot of statistics. I can't share what exactly those statistics are. 100% there has been outstanding growth. It's really exciting to see. So it's definitely, growing in popularity, and the user base is growing for sure.
You seem involved on the Discord platform. In what kind of ways are you finding that users need to be supported on? Describe that Discord community.
The community on Discord is growing. And I've seen it grown since it literally launched before I was on the team here. And I'm excited for that growth because, just when we announced today that the April bonus drop had dropped, we saw, hey, did you get a bonus? Post it and show it off. And we saw the general chat just start blowing up with screenshots and everything, which was really nice. And I was trying to go my best to heart everything and, thumbs up and yoo-hoo. But anyway, Patrick, you can take it over because Patrick is heavily involved on Discord.
I spend a lot of time on Discord because I like seeing, how everyone feels about everything, about the project, what they might be struggling with. And I also enjoy engaging, with the users, because I'm so passionate about what we're doing. So I really enjoy that. And I like answering questions. People are struggling with the platform or, just various aspects of the whole project. I'd like to be able to assist in, helping clear things up. One thing I can bring up regarding, Discord is there are so many scammers in the NFT space and on Discord. And I cannot stress this enough. If you're on Discord, especially on an NFT related Discord, I highly recommend you disable your direct messages from, anybody other than your friends. Recently, some users got scammed because they got a message from somebody impersonating us, saying, oh, go here for free this. And, if you click that link, it empties your wallet of all the NFTs and sends them to the scammer. I just wanted to take this opportunity to try and, educate anybody on Discord. Please disable your DMs and know that we're not going to ever DM you with a giveaway. Be careful, take it slow. And if you're not sure, ask questions. But yeah, definitely I would disable your direct messages if you're on the Discord for your own safety.
Do you worry that the price of wax may be too volatile? What do you think is driving that volatility?
Tokenwave is a cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrency in general is very volatile, especially, tokens that have a smaller market cap. They can fluctuate wildly. For me, I don't even really notice it because I'm just sort of used to it. I just ignore the noise and up and down. I could see a use case for, stable coins in the NFT space because those, are pegged to the dollar and they don't fluctuate. But in general, the wax price changing, isn't, I've never really found it problematic. I can definitely see how that's daunting and scary for any new user coming into the space. If they end up selling, some of their duplicates, for example, on the secondary market, and they're looking at Tokenhead, and one day, they're worth X amount, and the next day they're worth, 25% less, they're probably going to be pretty concerned. So I get that. I could see how that would be stressful for some users.
I honestly, I haven't seen the rise, and like Patrick said, I think it was last October-ish that Wax P went up a decent amount, but it's been pretty consistently steady for the last year, besides a huge spike for 25 days or so that went down. And it's, it's been floating around 30 cents, plus or minus, 5.10 or whatever. And I truly don't notice it as often. But like Patrick said, it's a cryptocurrency. Everything's volatile in the space. But Wax itself as a blockchain is ginormous, right? And they have so many new projects coming. So if you look at it in terms of a business approach, the stability of Wax and their currency is, for the foreseeable future, I would say years off, extremely stable. In my personal opinion.
Are certain users able to buy too many packs? You can see certain ones dominating the market. Do further IT guardrails need to be put in place to limit the number of packs a particular user can buy? You kind of talked about this a little bit already.
That's something we're always working on, and goes hand in hand with the, people that botnets trying to get 100 places in line, for example, so they can secure more packs. We're always working on improving that. Again, our next launch, we have some new measures in place that we think will greatly reduce that effect. Sometimes too, what I've noticed is you will have a whale that may buy up every pack that gets listed below a certain amount right after launch on the secondary market. And there's no way to prevent that. So sometimes, not all cases, in some cases, I'll see someone reference an account, but when you dig into the blockchain data, you could see that they were actually scooping those off the secondary market rapidly. So not all cases where people think that, someone scored 300 packs off the primary sale, was that actually the case? Not to take away from the cases where that happens. But again, we're always working on mitigating that. We want everyone to, have equal fair access to get packs.
In terms of the physical pop redemptions, do you think improvements need to be made to support the customers in case of damaged pops? How has that been playing out?
Obviously, there's been some cases where pops have arrived damaged. It's tricky because, where did the damage take place? Was it in transit? Was it before they shipped out? There's so many variables there. We certainly care about that a lot. We want people to get their products, we want them arriving in mint condition. And, we're working on a lot of things to ensure that they are delivered as safely and isn't, mint condition as they can be. We're listening to the feedback, and, we're always trying to work on improving that whole process. And the support around that process and the redemption flow in general. So it's hard to get specific answers, but especially since there's so many different cases. But it's something that we care about very much, and we'll take care of to the best of our ability.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys are working really hard in order to make all this fair and make it right. Funko never comes out and talks about their defense posture or their defense mechanism. So the fact that you guys are basically saying, hey, this is something we're working hard on and we're trying to make it fair for everybody, you're doing more, in my opinion, and this is coming from the channel and not from you guys, that you guys are doing more for the Funko community than even Funko is doing right now. How can customers contact customer service technical support?
If you are having issues, with the platform, or you're not sure how, to do something with the launch itself, or buying packs, transferring, I highly recommend joining Discord, because aside from myself and, our moderators, there's a lot of really educated users on there, and most of them are always willing to help other users, especially new users. Definitely do that. And then obviously We have a support at dropwith3ps.io. You can email that, and you would definitely get a response. It might be a day or two, due to how many tickets were working at that time due to demand. But certainly you will get a reply, and we'll help you out.
Why Droppp with 3Ps?
We came up with the idea for the name. When you're doing an NFT drop, obviously that's sort of where we thought of the name, and Drop with 1P was probably taken. I don't remember exactly how we ended up on 3Ps, but I suspect Drop with 1P I think was taken, if I remember correctly. But we also thought it was unique. Yeah, and it matched the whole NFT drop theme.
I like 3Ps.
Me too.
I don't know if you ever knew that about me, but
no, I didn't. But
I'm letting you all know now.
Thank you.
I feel like this is a bonding moment where I'm letting you know I like 3Ps. So we learned a lot here. We asked a lot of questions from folks out there who may be new to this whole platform, new to NFTs. Of course, we're new to NFTs. We've only been involved in all of this since Funko has been doing their thing. And you guys are doing a great job. Based off of not only what I've been hearing, but also our experiences with NFTs, there have been times where it's been, kind of painful. But I think that comes with anything that you collect. And I think that also change is always a difficult thing, and people making a change from collecting a physical product down to a digital product is going to be something that over the course of time, it takes time to change minds. But I think you guys are doing it. And I think it's happening in a big way. And I would say specifically with the Funko community, it's happening because there's a physical portion along with it that helps this whole game, right? So not only are you dealing with the digital thing, but you're also dealing with the physical thing. I think this is awesome. And I'm going to drop an F-bomb. I love this. It's so much fun. I can't wait for the next drop. And I just want to say, Parker, thanks for not telling us what the next one is, because I'm actually a little pissed. I'm actually a little pissed at you now. I hope we can do this again sometime in the future, where we can discuss various NFT related things, maybe some new things that we try to cover a lot in our tutorials when we talk about this stuff. Maybe it could be where we meet up every once in a while and you can tell us maybe some new changes that are coming down the pike.
Yeah, sure. We'd love that. And of course, thanks so much for having us on your show. Again, really like the show, super entertaining. And we're so happy that you kept an open mind to this, and instead of just completely shutting it out. And same goes for your audience. We're just, thrilled with the increased excitement we keep seeing in the community. So thank you so much.
Yeah. And Patrick, thank you for bringing your Civil War era armoire to the live. That was great. Also, I'm glad you brought that with you for this interview.
Appreciate it so much more now after your comments.
Well, I specifically like the Seinfeld Funko Pop. I didn't know it was there because the arm is in the way, but now that he's there, hey, I'm down. I'm down with that.
I think I need to flip this over to the other side next time.
You being the one out of the two of us who was harder to break for NFTs, what do you have?
Well,
you're being put on the spot, by the way.
I still don't like NFTs, but I really like NFTs.
That's a great way to end the video, Heather.
Yeah, but I think that this will be really, really helpful it was helpful for me because I'm like totally lost on this thing. I learned a lot when I had to purchase for Chris and we were doing some trading and stuff. It honestly made me fall in love with collecting all over again. It's awesome and it feels very rewarding.
For people that are new, everything is transparent on the blockchain. Everything is transparent. Anything in terms of how many there are, how many that was burned, who has what, who did what with what. Obviously, there's no personal information attached to someone's account or whatever, but that's the beauty about NFTs is there is no, the integrity is intact. So there's no fakes. There's you know what I mean? We don't have to worry about that. The second thing I was going to say is a lot of people talk about the collecting, and I've seen this so many times, what is the utility of an NFT? What is this for? And I say the same thing to everyone I talk to that are getting new into NFTs. So take Pokemon cards, sports cards, even Funko Pops to a degree, though you see Funko Pops much more on our shelves, on our walls, our closets, if you have too many of them. A baseball card, what do you do with it? You buy it, you put it in a binder, or you put it into a plastic thing and you set it up maybe on display, or you throw it in the back of a drawer somewhere, and it could be worth $1,000. and you just sit it and forget it. And that's kind of like, what do you do with it? Well, you're going to eventually pass it down to someone in your family, or you're going to sell it. That's probably the only things you're going to do with a collectible card, right? Unless you're Logan Paul, it's going to put it around your neck, and be something different about it. But it's the same thing with NFTs, in my opinion. Like, but there's so much more to it, because you can share it more with the world, as opposed to like, hey, look at this picture of this binder that I have from 1974, and I just flip through the 18th page and there's a bunch of dust on it. Like, so anyway, I love this. When Patrick talked about his kids, about this digital age, my kid's the same way. I mean, what glider, that cool glider, did you give your son V-Bucks to buy this day in Fortnite, Patrick? It happens, right? And so I think, and mark my words, I'm saying 5 years, it might happen sooner. Fortnite, Epic Games, every major gaming studio, and so on and so forth, will be turning into and transforming into NFTs. It's only advantageous for not only a public company shareholders, but a private company's revenue at the same time. So I'm excited for the future.
I would just say again, thank you to you and your audience and all of our users for, sharing their experience and the feedback, and, just taking part in this incredible journey with us. It's so much fun. And, if you're not on our Discord yet, stop on by, say hello. If you just joined, for the first time after seeing this video, feel free to let us know, and everyone's welcome. And thank you so much. And just know we have so many awesome things we're working on, and we're so excited to share them.
Can't wait for the next drop. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it's something right up our alley, and I feel like it's going to be, based off what I've been hearing during this little interview we're doing. I feel like it's going to be something big.
Yeah, they said so much.
I know, but it sounded very exciting, Heather. Thank you guys so much for being here and doing this with us. We will have you back hopefully very, very soon. We can talk about a little bit more of this. You guys are awesome, by the way. Thank you. So what'd you think? Those guys are awesome, right? And they answered all the hard-hitting questions. And we're going to have them back on at some point in the future to discuss a little bit more about Tokenhead and also NFTs. So let us know what you thought about that interview and more in the comment section down below. In every video, we like to shout out to some of our patrons from Patreon. In this video, we'd like to shout out to Leandro Cedillo, Bob B-Side Cardillo, Carlos Q, Patricia Hertok, Wee Poon, Damian Spalma, Autumn and Eddie Phillips, George Shihide, Garrett aka Fast Mode 24, and Michelle D. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. We appreciate all of our patrons from Patreon. You guys rock. Hey, and don't forget, head over to 7bucksapop.com every Saturday for their signature series. They're always dropping something amazing. And this weekend, it's all about Lord of the Rings. You don't want to miss it. 7bucksapop.com. All right, it's that time again. Remember, as always, we are together. Yes, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.